This is Jared Parry for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store, freebets.com and Forge Irish Stout. Delighted to be joined by WBA and Ring Magazine and IBO World Welterweight Champion Jessica McCaskill. You're here to launch your fight. You've come back to the UK. You're fighting Lauren Price in Wales. How are you feeling going into this one?
I'm very excited about the fight, excited to be here. When I came here in 2017, I told myself I'm going to be back, and here I am.
To say, last time you were in the UK, if I remember rightly, it was Katie Taylor at your call. You're now taking on another Olympian who's done really well for their country, Lauren Price. How do you rate Lauren as a boxer?
I haven't seen much of what she's done. Obviously, as an amateur, she's already set the tone. I don't have to rate her. She's a gold medalist, Olympian. So as far as pro, she only has 6 fights, and obviously she has a little bit more to go in her career before she really sets any high marks. But I'm very excited that she said yes to the fight and that she's ready to jump in.
There was a lot of talk that you were going to be travelling to Zagreb to fight Ivana Habazin. How come the Lauren Price fight is happening and not the Habazin fight?
The Habazin fight was a mandatory. That was the second time that we were said that we had to fight her. The first time, I didn't realize I wasn't fighting her until she was on another card on an Instagram. And so, she was said to be my mandatory, and then all of a sudden, she had another fight. So after that fight, she lost, and she was again my mandatory. And it just didn't really seem like it was going to happen. We were training, we were taking it seriously, but because of what had happened before, we weren't sure if it was actually going to happen. And a better opportunity came up. We vacated the WBC belt. I believe Habazin got paid a lot of money, and she's still going to fight for the belt. She's still going to get a purse. I think she made out very well for that. And for me, I just want to make sure that I'm fighting top-of-the-line fighters, and I just thought Lauren Price was a better fit.
I was going to say, the welterweight division, obviously you hold the WBA, IBO and the Ring Magazine, but the belts are all held by champions such as Sandy Ryan, who's fighting Terri Harper in a few weeks, and it's a really stacked division. Is there any, not looking past Lauren of course, but is there any fights that you look at and think, right, they're the fights that I want if I was to come through Lauren Price?
Oh, obviously, Tasha Jonas, she had a hand in helping make this fight, so thank you to Natasha. We've had conversations. Rick Ramos and Natasha have talked about maybe getting that fight on, and I think we had talked about maybe doing it at a different weight class, but now she's 147, so it makes sense, and that could be an opportunity to go for in the future.
Natasha Jonas, last time we've seen her out was against Mikaela Mayer. Obviously a great fight. If they were to rematch, who would you back in that fight?
I would stick with Tasha Jonas. There's things that I see in Mikaela that kind of seem faulty as a fighter. She closes her eyes when she punches, things like that. And Natasha, she just has a good style. She's lefty, so sometimes that just kind of mixes people up and gives them an advantage.
Obviously, your last fight was Sandy Ryan out in America. Obviously, she's now got the fight with Terri Harper coming up, as just mentioned. What's your thoughts on that fight?
It should be interesting because you have 2 European fighters that could very much just move around and, kind of get a draw, or it depends on if the girls are going to go for it, if they're going to go at each other. So I can't really call it. It's one of the ones that you're going to have to watch and see what comes of it.
Would you be interested in a rematch with Sandy Ryan? Obviously, ending in a draw, a lot of people would talk about the scorecards afterwards. Would that be a fight that would interest you as well down the line?
That's conversation that we've also had with Sandy Ryan. That's one of the things that people really don't do. They don't talk to fighters. They just say weird things on the internet and call people out. But Rick Ramos, my manager, he's had conversations with Sandy. That's something that we've talked about revisiting. We really enjoy working with boxers, so it may not happen, but we'll have to see.
Another fight in the women's game that everyone's talking about is they want to see the trilogy between Chantelle Cameron and Katie Taylor. Obviously, you've been in with both girls. They're at 1 apiece. What's your thoughts if they went and fought for a third time?
I think the third fight has to happen, and if that fight isn't getting made, then that's ridiculous. That fight should definitely happen. But, with Katie getting the last win, she made us think okay, I don't want to go there again. And I barely made it with, by the skin of my teeth. So I'm just going to take that and go, which is unfortunate for Chantelle. I hope Chantelle gets that fight. And it's a trilogy that needs to happen, not only for those 2 individual people, but for female boxing, period.
So, final one for me then. Just, have you got a message to all your fans who may be coming over here to Wales to come watch you fight? Have you got the message to all of them?
I don't know. Well, I have friends here in the UK, so there may be some people traveling. They came to the fight in York Hall. They may come to this fight as well. I don't know who's coming over. I'm traveling to the UK, but I do have some friends. Mikaela from Austria, she said she's coming. So, but if not, they're going to watch it on TV.
Jessica McCaskill, thank you very much for your time and all the best on May the 11th.